everybody. I'm Tina with the City of Salinas. Do we have someone who's going to do Spanish interpretation?
I told her that I would let them know everything afterwards, so that way they will be back in services, and I'm just going to give them a rundown at the end.
Okay, but what if people want to ask questions?
Then I'll translate that way.
Okay. Okay, so I'm Tina. I'm with the City of Salinas. I'm the program coordinator for CASH and also the homeless outreach coordinator. Today I just have just a few talking points, some really good information. Before we get into the housing stuff, I just wanted to mention that information on the coronavirus, directions and precautions can be found at the health department website. This is the website, you just click on it, a page comes up, it tells you all about it. So just know that, protect yourself. Another thing that I wanted to direct your attention to, although no decisions have been made, is the Executive Order N2320. These are the state designated sites for assessment to see if homeless solutions can be brought to that site for housing people temporarily. So this is the website, it'll show the California map and you can see those locations. The closest ones that I saw to here were in Hollister. I think it was like the San Benito County Fairgrounds and then the Caltrans building in Hollister. And I'm waiting to get word if there will be any sites in and around Salinas. The two most important things that I wanted to talk about today are leadership and then what we're doing with the cash funds over here at the Navigation Center. So regarding leadership, I understand that there's a stakeholders advisory meeting. Are all of you aware of that? That happens on the first and third Tuesday of each month. That's a meeting for you run by peers to put your input and your feedback. And then I meet with the heads of that meeting to understand what the priorities are for the community down here. So if you don't attend that meeting, attend it. It's the Stakeholder Advisory meeting, and it's at the first and third Tuesday of each month. So what I understand from the last meeting, what was emphasized to me is that folks are wanting centralized, near them, more accessible storage in response both to the health and safety cleanups and the desire to beautify the community down here, to have less stuff out and trash. So I am currently talking with city officials to see what we can do in response to that. I understand the current locations are inconvenient, they're far away, if not impossible to get to. That's what I'm told regularly. Also regarding leadership, there are various opportunities coming up. I have a short interest list of community members wanting to be in leadership roles. I have one leader who's agreed to speak with and take around developers interested in establishing a micro home village. Thank you, Roderick. He's not here today, but he's the person that agreed to do that. Rita Acosta and I believe Pamela Weston are leading the Stakeholders Advisory meeting. Thank you to both of those ladies. I have 3 to 4 more community members that I would like to put in leadership roles. Chris of the Navigation Center, he really needs some help with the sleeping accommodations arrangement that will be coming up. And that will go in the parking lot adjacent to the Navigation Center. We're figuring out how folks can best assist. So please speak to me as I have other roles and I really could use your assistance. It would help perhaps make things go faster. Some small and large projects that are being talked about is beautification for the Navigation Center and around in town. And also, I don't know if you've heard, but there's some movement to get the community garden reinstated. And I believe they're looking at 10 and 12 Soledad for that. Yes, ma'am.
What are the times and location of the stakeholder advisory meeting?
I wasn't given the times, but I'm told it's here.
2 o'clock?
Pamela can speak to
Hello,
that.
my name is Pamela Weston, and the Community Leadership
and Empowerment Stakeholders Advisory Committee is the first and the third Tuesday from 2 to 3. And what it is that for the first Tuesday, we're planning on our 2-week plan about how to do civic engagement and working with each person that is an identified District 1 community resident and member to work on their specific areas and strengths. And then the third Tuesday is for us to do workshops and training for empowerment. So the first Tuesday, once again, here at the Learning Center is from 2 to 3, where all stakeholders, no matter where you live, can be a part of the process. And then the third Tuesday is for civic engagement projects, workshops, and the ability to understand how to submit proposals and work along with city, county, state, federal, and neighborhoods so that we can reduce stigma and disparities. And I'm Pamela Weston, and my strength deals with governance, and we've been working and wrote this and when they first started to put the fences here, but now we're back on the ground with a lot of other things that we'll be able to offer and come along with the whole community, city, and neighbors and everyone else. So we work in a specific way, bettering and with an emphasis on health.
Okay, thank you. Good explanation. I'm also taking an interest list today for names for people interested in participating in the community garden. Before I go on to the cash stuff, I just wanted to say that Sammy will be leaving this community, okay, in March. I believe your last day is March the 16th?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got to have a good couple of weeks. Send him off the right way. Sammy, thank you for everything you've done down here. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tammy.
So where we're at with Kesh is I have been given the go-ahead to go with the sprung shelter. We have been considering many options. We have a request into the governor's office for RV trailers. That could be a wait for us. It may never come. So we're going to move forward with the sprung shelter. Just to give you an idea of what that is.
Those are the big tent ones?
Yeah, so we'll be looking at constructing probably a 50 by 60 sprung shelter. We're going to start with 15 people inside, temporary sleeping accommodations, move that 15 outside, take 15 more, take 15 more after that. So we'll have 45 to 50 people. So some of those folks will receive the cash flexible housing subsidy, and we're in conversations about flipping that subsidy into vouchers. I don't know if we'll be able to do that for all, but that's the tact. So we are finalizing the selection list for Kesh. If you want to see if you're on the list, see me today. I have the different lists with me. And I'm waiting for the Moongate decline list. They said they will get that to me, and this morning I got the coalition referral list. So we're in good shape. And I think with that, I'll end and I'll take questions.
I love the list for cash. I love the list for cash.
Tina?
That thing you're building there, then they.
Ms. LaPerle, could you please explain, like, how that before, can you explain to us so that, this looks really good, but can you explain, like, how, like, what you had to do to be able to even get us this far, like, how you went out here, and then how that, like.
Oh, like how it's evolved?
Yes.
Oh, sure, yes. We had been trying to secure, this funding for a while. and we got word that we got it. The Coalition of Homeless Service Providers, the Leadership Council, the County Board of Supervisors, they did authorize whole person care funding, and that gave us an extra roughly $500,000. So it took a while to amp up the funds for this. So we have that. Then I think it was near June of last summer, Dorothy's Place let us know that they needed to surrender the center because their donation base had dropped. So what we then decided to do is to just also add showers and bathrooms back for the whole community. So the first thing we did was put portalets. Then we got the center open in conjunction with Community Homeless Solutions. My colleagues at the Community Development Department, Public Works, we have an interagency team that works, interdepartmental team. So we walked around down here at Sherwood Park, different areas throughout the city, got people's opinions. I don't know if you were here, but we did a meeting in the side yard where we did a housing poll of what type of housing people would like to go into. There have been many Chinatown revitalization meetings. So we also put together a peer advisory council of 4 to 6 folks who are living unsheltered down here with their opinions and stuff to open this navigation center. The opinions were on the rules and guidelines, maybe what we should and shouldn't do for sleeping accommodations, and just to make it lower barrier. So I really appreciate everything that everybody's done. We actually even need to come together even more and collaborate more strongly, and that's why I talked about the need for some more emergent leadership from the community down here, because when we have unified voices, we can move faster in our projects. And the governor has said this is a huge priority, so we want to be ready to hit the ground on this and get further than we have been. I want to thank everybody for their patience. It feels like this is taking forever, but I want us to have options this year that people feel good about, so you each can work your plans. So, any other questions? Jackie?
So what about the process as far as the lottery process? How is that going to work in, is the building ready for the community members to move into right now, or how is that going?
The building is not quite ready. We're still readying that. So we've got to get some electrical ready because we're going to have a structure going in the parking lot. We need some electrical upgrades in the building. They're getting the contracts and bids on that. And I'm told that they're going to move that pretty swiftly. I do believe we've secured the alarm company to set up the alarms and stuff like that. Cameras for the exterior. So things are moving along. I wish it was open right now, but things are moving along. And as far as the selection process, there's going to be a number of people served in Kesh in 3 different prongs. There'll be folks served in street outreach, there'll be folks served in engagement, there'll be folks served in bridge housing, and then there'll be a flexible housing subsidy, and that will be pulling candidates from bridge housing and for people identified as ready on the street. So, and we are in dialogues about additional vouchers and stuff like that as well. So, Pamela.
As a community, what can people, you said housing ready, or being able to be shelter ready? As a community, besides coming to the town hall meetings, what other ways would help you to be able to do things in a better way and a more specific way, so that each person here that sees the result, that they can do what they need to do to work along with what that you have to do for the grant?
Yeah, well, basically what we want you to do is be your strongest advocate for yourself. So if you haven't yet checked with the Housing Authority, check and do make sure that you are on an active wait list and what wait list you're on. Because if you have given an address that was expired and they tried to reach you, your name is being taken off the list. So do check, shore up your connections that way. We are using for our selection process cars as a lens for the selection of people who would move into the housing. So those folks would have the range that's been designated by their score. And then we have our 5 preference lists. And again, those lists are the declines and wait lists from Moongate, Sherwood Park, PG&E displacement, Chinatown, Downtown General, and Downtown District. So, I hope that we'll be doing that soon. I was hoping to have started the selection process, but again, I'm waiting for the Moongate list, and I just got the cars list today, so. Yes, did you have a question?
Yes, I noticed your sign out there and I just came in and just got off work. When you specify on their town hall, I mean, is a town hall within just this region or is there a town hall within all the through?
It's referring to like the core of Chinatown.
So it has nothing to do with residential at all?
Residents are welcome.
No residential?
In Chinatown?
Residential, yeah.
Anybody's welcome.
I live on Salinas Street.
Mhm.
I came in here due to the fact that the mayor's not taking care of what needs to be taken care of on my street.
Thank you for
But
coming.
I noticed that because I have specified a lot of things, issues, especially about games and stuff. Yeah, it's continuously. I noticed that they have cameras here, but they don't got cameras down on Monterey, down on Salinas Street completely because it's just chaos here.
Have you had a chance to look at the revitalization plan that's posted on the website? Did you come to any of the meetings by any chance?
No, but I would love to come to one,
Okay.
especially about pertaining to games.
Okay, so if you could, when you have some time, maybe this weekend, hop on and look at the Chinatown revitalization plan. There's a plan for more security in the district, and you should probably look at that because I think it's what you're looking for.
And I can help you with that afterwards
Yeah.
too. I can go over it for you.
And I want residents to come to this meeting, folks in Chinatown core. This is the Chinatown Town Hall, so.
Does that also mean outside of Chinatown, that if outside community members of District 1 have any ideas or concerns that they could come here? Or is this town hall mainly for the residents and community members of District 1 in Chinatown?
This town hall is mainly for the residents and stuff of Chinatown, but we want partners. We want partners to make Salinas what it could be. And we want partners to revitalize this district, so people are welcome. Anybody's welcome.
One more question.
Sure.
For the disabled veterans and vulnerable, I know that you've been on the ground working to try to reach out to people before that the sweeps are done. But would there be a follow-up in looking at how to reasonably accommodate people with the Americans with Disabilities Act so that they have supports and there are efforts from the Homeless Coalition before that the sweeps are done, that it's just so that people live in a healthy way?
Yeah.
Because currently, right now, what's happening is people feel like they've been community members for a long time, but I know you've done a lot of efforts to try to change that, and there's a big concern on the street with the community that they're not being seen as community residents and members, they're being seen as someone that doesn't belong. So will there be another type of town hall to address the reasonable accommodations, and is there an effort to really work with the people doing street outreach and engagement, work to be able to come up with solutions such as like bans or storage Could you kind of describe about how
Yeah.
to accommodate the disabled, the
Yeah.
vulnerable and everybody else?
Yeah. The challenge is twofold. One is we do have a lot of trash that accumulates in areas of Salinas. So there's money earmarked for health and safety cleanups. The other challenge is that the frequency of the cleanups is difficult for folks because there doesn't seem to be adequate storage for folks' things. So one of the things that is important is looking for storage solutions to make that an easier, smoother process for all. The other thing is that the Community Development Department is looking at hiring a couple outreach workers. We unfortunately didn't get approval for it in the mid-year budget request, but we're trying to find some other means to do that, to assist with the health and safety cleanups. And being able to maybe take a little more time with the folks who need the help and stuff like that. And then the other thing is we are trying to work with the coalition to develop some type of regular outreach schedule where outreach workers are going out to different various encampments before the health and safety cleanups.
I got a question.
Okay.
How can y'all get whether these people down in Chinatown are counted? You know, the only time they're counted when there's a census coming up. So we need to develop a way that these people are counted. You know, you don't even see anybody down here. These people down here pay taxes like everybody else. You don't see nowhere down there there's a voter drive to get people to vote or anything. I have been standing up there and watched our city bring people down here. So okay, here you can live down here. This is where you belong. And to me, that's not right. I mean, you want to bring people down here, you want to say this and you want to say that, but what are they going to do with people? I mean, you know, I said all the time, and you know, I make them pretty mad with me, Special Social Service. They're pretty upset with me because I tell them the way that they're doing things. They tell us, hey, look, we don't care what they do with it. Well, I mean, if you want people to better themselves, teach them how to better themselves. Don't just come and just throw them a handout and say, okay, now you survive off this, you do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Because see, most people down here as a mode of survival.
Right.
And some people down here, if they would know better and they would have these programs that would help them, they would do better. But
Yeah.
some won't, and you know, you have to, the good should have to suffer with the bad.
Right.
I mean, I've been on that corner now going on 7, 8 years, and I've seen just a little bit of everything, and it's sickening when they say, well, why don't you have something to say? But when you have something to say, they don't listen. No. I mean, you know, this place, it is a community, and these people need to be counted as people, not outcasts.
Yeah.
They just from time to time. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the way that things are starting to shift is one is people are starting to formulate leadership more down here, and I really encourage that, and I'm really happy to see that happening. I know there's a lot of diverse groups down here, even if there could be one person from each diverse group, you know, that attends the stakeholder meeting. That would be wonderful. I'm understanding too that folks would like the health and safety cleanups to have more a component of help us to help ourselves first. So that's something that's starting to seep in that, you know, we'll have to give consideration to. And the other thing is that cash, money, and I don't know if this is ever going to happen again, is designated solely for the Chinatown district and the downtown district. And cash is a hand up, not a handout. You turn in a plan. Once you say, yes, I want to be in this project, you turn in a plan and you work with your peers and staff to work a plan. So I hope that this will be the tides turning,
Okay.
and we'll see.
All right.
I'm optimistic. Pam.
And to ask for further clarification, when you have the outreach workers, part of the continuum of care and the goals of the leadership council is to end encounters. This community has been a community for, they are a district, they are community members, but they used to live in a certain way. So when you have the outreach workers hired, could part of what Sammy has asked for be that they take a daily count of whether the people who are unsheltered or unhoused are here, and then basically even follow with what type of housing would they want, because the difference between being a community member and someone that is vulnerable is you don't have services. So with the community emergency solutions grant that you have, could be part of the job description for the outreach and engagement be a daily count that they do during the week, so that you can see the population that you have and work towards the goals of rapid rehousing or vulnerability,
Yeah.
like it's been already described. Could that be one of the things that we ask that we work as a viable solution?
So I can tell you one of the things that's being discussed is similar to that. Seminole, Florida has had success with doing, I think they're doing weekly counts or bi-weekly counts. I do know that the coalition is preparing for the next point in time count to be very prepared. But the city of Salinas, particularly in community development, has thought like maybe we should do more frequent counts. I don't think we have the staffing to do it daily, but there is talk of more frequent counts, and I would imagine that outreach workers would be involved with that. I would also imagine that we would probably have to go to the hot team meeting members that meet with Officer Gabriel Carvey to enlist their support, as well as any outreach workers associated with the coalition. So anything that we come up with that works, we want to have it work for the whole county as well, because this problem is national. We aren't housing our community members and residents, and we want to end this unsheltered living in the streets through the whole county, through the whole continuum. So we just need all our voices together. We need to collaborate. I know that this is an emotionally charged topic. This is about survival. Meetings, sometimes they can be tense, but we have to remember that we're working together on this. So if you can come to a table to help, please do.
On Tuesday, when we meet again from 2 to 3, we'll discuss about how we can offer support and collaborate with you in teams.
Okay, great. I would appreciate
So
that.
that means it will be this Tuesday?
This Tuesday, from 2 to 3.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Do we have any monólogos? ¿Tenemos alguien aquí que habla solamente español?
Sí, de varios.
Ok, entonces no hay un intérprete durante toda esa junta y tiene hablado por más de media hora y es una manera para que los que hablan español no se sientan que están bienvenidos, no se sientan que están acomodados.
Yo estoy tomando notas, además que yo no tengo tanta experiencia traduciendo, eso es difícil para que lo haga, pero estoy tomando notas para poder poner esas cosas.
Sí, pero esa manera no sirve, porque hay personas que no tienen una oportunidad de entender todo lo que ha estado presentado y ya tenemos solamente 15 minutos y tiene hablado por más de media hora. Así esa no es suficiente para los que hablan español.
Sí.
So this isn't okay for the Spanish-speaking people. There needs to be translation after every part that you say, because there's no way that this entire 40 minutes that you, half hour, 40 minutes that you've been speaking is going to get accurately translated. with all the information that you're saying. So I want to just really point out the lack of translation here, even though there's a translator here.
Yeah, I'm working on it, sorry. I'm working on that right now, and I definitely get your point.
Okay, so I think you need to translate bit by bit
Yeah.
after Tina talks.
Or provide the headsets with the city's translation, so we can both understand all of us can understand the languages that we speak, so it can be inclusive.
Yeah, well, and I take accountability for that. I'm not the best translator, and so I'm working on that right now. But definitely next meeting I'll do better at that part.
But with the city, they have the headpieces, so that you would be able to, someone would be able to speak into the voice piece. And so it wouldn't be just taking what we say, but everybody would be able to hear what the person is expressing.
With all due respect, I'm sure you're thoroughly bilingual. I'm not, but there should be a certified translator here. We shouldn't be relying on somebody. Again, I respect your skills tremendously. I don't know them, but there should not be a reliance on somebody who doesn't feel comfortable doing that level of translation. No debe de tener una persona aquí que no se sienta cómodo y no tiene licencia para ser intérprete. La ciudad puede cobrar el gasto de un intérprete, así que estamos en Salinas. We're in Salinas. Tenemos solamente una española hablante. We only have one Spanish speaker here. Es una falta de la ciudad por falta de incluir todos. That's on the city for failing to include everybody.
Can I point something out? So while I do agree with you, what you said, you have to also take into consideration that there's little funding for hardly anything, including housing these people. We definitely don't have funding to pay for a certified translator unless they want to come down here and do it for free. And in the past, we have reached out to folks and asked them to do that, and they said no. So we do rely on the generosity of our interns to help us with that piece of the work. And today, she's kind of doing both. She's facilitating and she's trying to help them. So there is a disconnect, and so we are trying to do better at that. But if you know anyone that would be willing to donate those services to us to be, certified translator, we're more than happy to, have them come down. So what do you say, Tina?
With all due respect, CSUMB also has money.
Right.
And CSUMB, there can be a grant put into CSUMB.
You know what? Everybody always say that. They see CSUMB's name on this building and they assume that we have all this money. But you have to understand that we are under the leadership of CSUMB. We are a nonprofit organization. So all the money that we receive is from external funding sources. We do not receive any money from the institution within itself.
I just want to say, ma'am, that your point is well taken, and when I walked in here, I noticed that we didn't have it adequately for today. Oftentimes we do have it. I think we lost a few of the interpreters, so I'm going to see what the city can do to help out. No, I know. I thought the same thing that you thought. Yes. Yeah, I thought the same thing you thought. No worries.
So yeah, we just have to work with what we got, the best of what we can. These are the resources that we have. So I say having this is better than having nothing at all. And and they know that, so we try the best that we can next time to see if we can have those things in place. And I'll work a way out with the interns, and maybe Jen, she can sit down with them and try to do the best. But until we can get an interpreter, we can just, work with what we have. And we will try better. Thank you for pointing that out.
So my, basically, as what you expressed, for the first time, we're all meeting here. But again, it's like we're just here and everybody's outside. So after this meeting, as she has expressed, each part of us are beginning to do work like collaboration. So for coordination, how could we follow up with you and with the city and with the Homeless Coalition, so that if we have a suggested request for needs, so that we can truly have an inclusive town hall, what's the best way? Is it in writing? What's the best way to look at for the next town hall? The way that we could consider that as part of the deliverables of the
So the town hall has been hosted historically through the generosity of this center, CSU Monterey Bay. I do talk about cash stuff because this is a good venue. Currently, most of the cash dollars are earmarked for other things, and we are using general fund monies. So this historically hasn't been like an official like city venue, but Jackie and I were just talking, and I think we both want to do more with this and grow this venue. So I was telling Jackie that I want to talk to some leadership in the city to see what we can do to enhance this meeting, to draw more people to it. But I do like the Stakeholder Advisory Committee thing to feed stuff until we have a forum that's sizable down here.
Right.
So,
And I also want to piggyback on what Tina just said. I just wanted to point out that this town hall meeting was just established a little bit over like a year and a half ago by the interns because they saw a need for this. So this isn't something that was like official. The city, you know, didn't decide to fund it, or I mean not fund it, but found it, or it's not an official type of thing. It became something that was informal, that was, you know, suggested by the interns, the community members loved it, and you all came together, and over time it's become to what it is now. So now we see that we need more things put into place, like a, you know, an official interpreter and all this other stuff. And we've noticed that in each, you know, we try to, you know, make sure we have that here, but sometimes we don't. And before, Dorothy was able to help us, and they weren't able to help us, and we had different interns that come and do the work. So we have to rely on volunteers to do that work because, like I said, official certified people don't want to come to Chinatown and work for us, unfortunately. But we'll keep trying.
yeah, we really would like to grow the venue.
So for next town hall agenda item, can we look at creating a community forum so that we could like discuss ideas so that through the leadership that's developing and seeing the results of even what you had requested happen, that is measurable during this time where the sprung shelter is going to be, because it's all about strengthening community in this district, because everybody's been a community resident for a long time. They just were displaced by sweeps and barriers. So in being able to make it a community forum, could we look at possible ways that from this town hall that we can actually make an official forum where there can be like public testimony and ways that we could justify like moving forward strategies?
I don't know about public testimony, that sounds kind of formal, but this is where people can come and talk, and we want to work with the advisory committee, and we want to grow this. When I think of public testimony, I think people should be at city council meetings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But as you saw when you came, public testimony is to be able to show up as a community member and say, I've lived here for a long time, and I'm a community member and I'm a resident, and I want you to know me, and I want you to know that I love here and I don't want to go away. So public testimony and a community forum would be the opportunity for them to introduce themselves as the residents that they are and community members. That's what I'm speaking about. Not a formal thing, but speaking my truth to power, that this is where I come from, this is where I've lived, and I've been a resident for years, and don't look at me this is where I want to be. So that's what a testimony is to say, these are my neighbors, and this is my home. And I want to be able to like say that for the first time, so I have dignity and I have input and I have value. That's what public testimony would be, since the emergency hasn't been that the neighborhood, it's been how do we make it so it's the best it can be for everybody.
Ms. Pam, so I hear you, and so when you were talking, when I was speaking, is that when you put together your group on Tuesdays, that maybe this can be an action item, and that, like, how do we not so much make this a formal process, but to continue to make it informal, but how do we make it more productive, more better, so everyone will be able to participate?
Yeah.
So maybe we can,
It'd be good if we had more people who come.
Right. Identify
Yeah.
more, how do we get the more people to come, how do we do outreach as a team that day? Because I know we do the work,
Yeah.
we need more community members to pass the word along
It'd
too.
be good if we could go
Yeah.
out the day before with a reminder and then the morning of. And, you know, it'd be great if we can, maybe do every other meeting where we get some food here. So, yeah, I really think we should try to grow this.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we can use the advisory board to do that. And we can, you know, like they do with, chat, right? And then they feed that into the SBC board, and that will go into the, you know, the coalition, the leadership council. So I think it's a great idea, and I'll be here on Tuesday, and I'll, you know, join your meeting to talk about it then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, okay.
This is what happens.
I got
when there's
a,
not translation. People don't understand and they leave without anything.
Yeah, the last two meetings have been lower attendance than the prior ones, so.
Right, really high.
So maybe if you, had a little early, so most people get out now, because they know the artists start serving at 1 o'clock, so they want to get over there and get the lunch.
Right.
You know, they don't want to miss the lunch, so maybe, you know, you can start having it at 11 to, you know, just a little bit early, so all the people that want to come could come and don't have to worry about not getting in line to get the lunch.
Maybe you guys can explore that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just as you said, and Will said, because it deals with the community as a resident and community as neighbors, basically from this, that's why that we wrote what we did, so that people can come together and work towards the neighborhood and the things that they need. So on Tuesday, what we'll do is we'll look at how can we have the residents actively participate.
And one of the ways to do that is for people like you and me not to take too much time talking. Is that we need to make our points and step back, because there's a whole lot of people here who haven't spoken.
Well, I disagree with that, because sometimes people like Pam speak for the people, the ones that's afraid to speak for themselves, that already spoke to her, and she's carrying a message. So I feel like everyone should take as much time as they have to get their point across, because for some of these people, it takes as long as it takes in order for them to make a statement.
I appreciate everybody's suggestions. If you want to reach out to me, I can definitely look into it, and I can make it a point for the next town hall meeting, all the suggestions will be met at that point. So if you want to come to me afterwards, we can exchange contact information, and we can definitely make that happen.
So thank you, everybody who attended today, for your feedback and your points, and we will improve and grow this meeting because we do want to work together more closely. We want to collaborate. We want to have solutions for the community. So thank you.
Good work, people. Dr. Wright was saying,